This guy Usopp just takes the fun out of everything, bro. All right. I apologize for the way my hair looks, but we're gonna get into chapter 1176 of One Piece. I'm gonna be talking a bit about it. I think it was a pretty good chapter to start off with. Very interesting moments. You know, I'm a Sanji fan, so I loved a little bit of Sanji glaze in here. And as usual, as we see in the chapter, Usopp does nothing. Nothing. He does nothing, bro. Holy. But to start off with the chapter I'm seeing right here, showing Frankie getting a power boost from Lilith. He was getting some sort of Lilith had some sort of device that was absorbing energy. That's what caused everything to freeze. That everything lost its energy and it froze over. And then she captured it in that little soda bottle and then gave it to Frankie. And then it boosted Frankie's physical powers in terms of like strength and speed and even jumping abilities. So I mean that's great for Frankie. I mean, I still am of the opinion that Frankie should get like a hockey boost, a hockey, at least armament hockey at a bare minimum in order to like fight someone. Like if you fight someone like Katakuri or goddamn NL, he still lose. I think he would still lose. Nami was kind of going crazy with Zeus. Zeus was being captured, but now he's free. Jinbei was getting faced with racism. It was cool. Well, not the racism part was cool, but it was cool that Sanji stepped in for him. That's what I was trying to say. And Jinbei obviously had his cool moment. And I will say, it was pretty cool seeing that when Frankie and Jinbei both punched that big ass salamander, that Frankie not only just punched it, he literally straight up decapitated it. He punched its head off its neck, which is like not the craziest thing we've seen, but it's like a pretty great. It was greater than when Jinbei did. Jinbei did not blast any holes through that salamander. So now it's like further reinforcing the idea for me that Frankie is absolutely gonna fight Jesus Burgess from the Blackbeard Pirates. Jesus Burgess has the strength fruit, I believe, able to lift up mountains. Now we got Frankie able to boost artificially his own physical strength and able to punch holes through like mountain-sized animals. But yeah, moving past Frankie's cool moment. I mean, this was a great chapter for Frankie. I love Frankie. I think he's among like top 5 Straw Hats for me. So this was a great moment, and I love this for him. And then we move on to Sanji. And the Sanji here that I'm seeing, he just kicks in Killingham's head. He was not standing for the racism. Straight kicked in his head, broke that guy's mask. I wonder if there's gonna be some sort of like subtle themes of or a connection towards his childhood. I feel like he would especially hate the Celestial Dragons because of what he went through growing up, hating royalty in general, and then Celestial Dragons is like the cream of the crop that he would hate. Now, moving on to later on in the chapter, we do see Dorian Broggy kind of overpowering the Domi Reversi, talking to each other kind of like telepathically, I think. I don't know if this is the same as like the voice of all things, kind of how Rox was doing with Roger and Garp. I don't think so. I think it was just to each other. Unless Dorian Broggy have the voice of all things, but I doubt it. And then we see them saying that we wouldn't submit to this, and they cut their heads off each other. And once they do, again, we're met with another fake out death. You know, we're shown with the character's reactions like, oh, no, 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 no. I mean, it's typical. Almost every arc has a fake out death at this point. I might do a video on that actually soon, kind of just targeting the fake out deaths because there's no emotional stakes for me at this point. Anytime I see a character die, I don't care. Like they're gonna come back either some way or some form, unless I see a grave, and even then, it's a stretch. It's always a stretch. But anyways, they cut their heads off, and then they kind of sunk back into this void or the abyss, and they come out of it pretty much fine. And basically, at the end of the chapter, it kind of describes that the way to defeat Domi Reversi is to actually fatally wound them, which is something we kind of did know about already through Roger and Garp having to like combine attack on Rocks. And I was seeing a lot of people kind of complain about this online, like on TikTok and stuff, saying like, how can Dorian Broggy overpower the Domi Reversi through will, yet the guy with the strongest conqueror's haki couldn't? I think it's making it apparent here that Rocks would have been able to. However, because he thought he had killed his wife and son, he had lost his will at that point. Like he had no reason to live. He lost his family. Even prior to that, his entire clan had got Domi Reversi'd. Like basically his whole family got wiped out on some like Sasuke Uchiha shit, bro. So I think in a way that's how Rocks was kind of ultimately defeated, because his family, he thought he killed his family. And so he had no reason to keep living. The only thing that kind of strikes me as odd is why is Dorian Broggy fine after this? Like, why are they kind of back to tip top shape? They even say here, they say that, but it seems your body returns to working shape the moment you're flipped back. Why is that the case? When we see Rocks, after he gets defeated by Roger and Garp, all three of them are laying on the floor tired. And then he's telling Roger and Garp in his head, like, you gotta go because here come the Holy Knights. If this was the case, that means Rocks was like, fine. He would have been fine. He would have got up and saved Roger and Garp at that point. But he didn't. He looked exhausted. It looked like the form, the transformation took a lot of energy out of him. Either that transformation or Roger and Garp's attack. And yeah, you have Dorian Broggy here who had their heads cut off and they're kind of like fine. There's no like long lasting damage to them. So I do wonder why that is the case. My only theory about it now is that maybe it is because of the difference of transformations. Rocks was kind of impaled through Emu, or by Emu I mean, through like these little devil tails. Whereas Dorian Broggy were kind of sunk into this satanic ritual. To me, it's kind of like, why is Dorian Broggy still fine? Like the whole Domiverse being defeated by being killed is understandable. It's fine, I guess. But why is it the case that they're fine to fight? Like they should be out of the scene here. They should be like in critical condition as like Rocks was. But that's really my only gripe with this. And we do see Zoro's kind of like in front of the giants, kind of leading them. I did see some people kind of comparing it to Shanks. This guy is not Shanks, bro. Stop. I mean, besides that, this chapter was pretty cool. I was seeing some posts online on like TikTok saying how every Straw Hat's getting their moment, getting their little fights, and then you just got Usopp just continuously yelling. Like the only time Chopper was in here, let me find it. Usopp was just in one panel yelling, talking about he was just so scared about low-key being on their side or not. I mean, this guy is a literal clown. I'm sorry. Everyone is getting their moment. Nami had a brief moment trying to save the library. Jinbei had a moment punching that salamander. Same with Frankie. Frankie had his moment looking at the mural. Robin had a moment trying to take down Summers. Right? These moments ended failure, but there were moments nonetheless. Yeah, you got Usopp, who shot like a cabbage at a Gunko, and they got kneed in the face, and then was wrapped up in thorns, and try to pull off like the sword off Jarul's head. That's all this guy has, and he's just been yelling the whole time, screaming his head off. It's sad. It's genuinely sad, bro. Like I lost hope in Usopp ever since like Wano, and not even like the end of Wano. I lost hope in Usopp when he was telling Nami that she should lie about Luffy's dream. Like, get out of here, you absolute clown. Egghead proceeded to do nothing. The rest of Wano, nothing. Elbaf, so far, nothing. I can't understand how some people, I've been seeing this online as well. Some people think he's going to get Ragnar. He's not getting Ragnar. Not only is the hammer too big for him, but this guy's a wuss. Why would anyone ever look at this guy as worthy? Ragnar will not be wielded by the God of War, then by Loki, and then the third person be Usopp. Get out of here. Usopp is not that guy. What a clown, bro. What a clown. What a clown. I just can't emphasize that enough. He is just the worst Straw Hat right now. He is the weakest Straw Hat. Before anyone ever says like, oh, but he's realistic, he's a human. So is Luffy. So is Zoro. So is Nami. These are humans. Yet they're able to fight. The whole point of this show and this series is to have willpower. Whether it's through hockey or the actual willpower to keep wanting to fight. Usopp has not shown that shit since Alabasta, I think. He has been fraudulent. This is not no Yonko member. Get him out of here. And his role is a sniper. It's not like some people were using the argument for Sanji like he shouldn't be strong because he's a cook. Usopp is a sniper. He should be a strong. Start sniping. But he doesn't. He does not. This guy is fraud. I can't emphasize that enough. I could go on and on about Usopp. I mean, Usopp It's funny. Usopp wasn't even a big part of this chapter, but that one little panel he was in annoyed the hell out of me. I don't even want to see this guy. Do something. Please do something. You actual garbage. This video went from me trying to like be excited about this chapter and stuff for Frankie and Sanji and Zoro, I guess. But man, this guy Usopp just takes the fun out of everything, bro. Man, fuck Usopp.